One thing that kind of gets me fired up is when I hear people saying, oh, you can't be like Jesus. And of course, that's being taught in the churches. That's not what Jesus taught. He said, follow me. He said, all things are possible with God. He said, be perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. So, I never heard him say one word in scriptures that tells you can't be like him. Quite the opposite. First of many brethren. So I don't use that as an excuse, and I've devoted my life to be remade in his image. And then I look at, of course, where I am in time and space, in the presence of God, where I am down here. And I realize, there's a lot of things that I'm not fulfilling I'm really not in the fulfillment of that. But the Father, through the grace that came through Christ, he sees me fulfilled. He sees me finished. And through my faith, I get to see that in him. But now I'm down here on earth, and I'm walking through what I'm walking through. And then we have the brothers and sisters, and the whole family of brothers and sisters who have devoted their lives as a witness for amen. And the promises. Now we have the promises in scriptures that people have been given. And then people have individual promises that are revealed in the Spirit in their lives directly from the Father. And I've been given a lot of that. And, early on, things that the Father was relating to me that I looked at, my individual things that he was sharing with me. And then the story of the whole family of brothers and sisters and the witness for him. And there's been times where I'll say just first for myself, that I would look at myself and go, Father, I don't see how in any way I could fulfill these promises that you're saying are going to be fulfilled through me. A feeling of totally inadequate. And of course, then you got the other side of that. See, the answer to that. And I've experienced that inadequacy a lot, because you see how far away you are in a lot of ways if you're really looking at the true Spirit of Jesus Christ. That's a high mountain. But then all things are possible with God. And if it be his will, he has shown me that he can do anything. And then there was, the family itself. And I've seen at times where it looked, these are the brothers and sisters that Amen invested himself in. And even with all the really beautiful exampleships that there are, the mixed bag of it and the fractured flickers of what has happened up till now, I'd be looking at it going, how are you going to do this? How are you going to actually turn us into what would be a right representation of what you gave? And that's where you go to. All things are possible with the Father. So here I am, years ago, we had a camp not too far from here, up in the mountains. It was Red Mountain. I probably mentioned it numerous times. Big event up there. I spent a year up there. And when I first got there, I was working on a pump house door. I've been brought up in carpentry and everybody knew it. I had helped build a few little things. And so I got sent to fix this pump house door. Took the door off, little building for the well. And I had it on sawhorses and I was working on it with another brother. And here comes Amen. Now we're all in white robes and we're all barefoot. And here comes Amen flying through the space, goes into the pump house. Stuff is flying all over the place. And then this light bulb, this fluorescent light bulb comes flying out of there, lands on the ground, and breaks into a zillion pieces. And out comes Amen. I had the image. Beautiful. He comes out and we're all looking at all this broken glass. And it looks like a lot to pick up. And Amen gets down. He just starts picking it up. So the brother and I, we get down with him, start picking it up. And we were enjoying it so much. Then in a flash, it was all done. And Amen looks at me and he says, easier than you thought, huh? So I have that imprint. And then, same season, that same year I was there, Amen went on a journey out east. And then before he left, we had been building this sauna. And I was in there with him, just him and I, finishing it up. And he had related that he wanted to see a stained glass kind of thing with a candle to bring light into the sauna. And he was looking for a design. And as soon as he said that, I got a flash. And it was a sunrise with 7 lightning bolt rays coming out of it, different colors, rainbow colors. And I drew it in the sand on the floor there. And he says to me, that's it. So then he went and bought a piece of glass and a kit that was like a faux stained glass kit. And he handed it to me. And then that was just before he went out east. And so there was a little crew of us. It was wintertime. And one day it was raining. And it was time to do this project. So a brother and myself, we pulled it out. And there was probably 10, 12 people there. And they all sat around us. And we did this little stained glass. And it was blessed. You could feel it in the spirit. It was blessed. So Amen comes back. And he's sitting on the ground outside of the van that he was in. And the brother and I brought this stained glass and set it in front of him. And there it was. We were on one side of him. I was. And then the brother Bartholomew was on the other side. And Amen was where the sun was. And we all went into space. Just closed our eyes. And when we opened our eyes, there were 5 more brothers. 7 brothers. 7 rays. And Amen looked at me and said, easier than we thought, huh? So I have this imprint. Now, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. But I have these promises. And there's no way I'm going to forsake them. Too powerfully given. And the biggest and the most important to me is that the Spirit that Amen gave to us of Jesus Christ, the true Jesus Christ, would be witnessed on this earth through the brothers and sisters who've known him. Now, how he's going to do that, I don't know. But I have those imprints in me. And there's definitely a comforting in that. And let's see. Let's see what happens. Amen.